mobilization theory. Resource mobilization theory is telling us the importance of organizational resource, such as funding, such as aid paths, and network in facilitating effective social action and achieving the desired result. Here, you are looking at people coming together as one, ability to bring resources together. It may be human, it may be natural and man-made resources. When they are brought together, then you can effectively mobilize people for a social action. Organizational resources. Do you have the skills to bring people together? Do you have that oral skills as an orator to speak to people and they see the need, they identify with you to join you for the cause you have identified and you are preaching? This is what we are saying. Then the finance, you can do it very well. You can't carry a social action without finance. Maybe you need to buy banners, you need to buy flags, you need to acquire some materials to use. Here you are looking at pulling resources together, then the expertise, the knowledge, people who are knowledgeable in certain areas, you bring them in and they will facilitate the social action. For instance, you want to organize to have an NGO that deals with maybe gender violence, or now that we have acquired the knowledge here, we have an NGO that has a focus on social action. Then what do? You use your expertise, you first mobilize people, then there are certain things that you have to do. Maybe you acquire an office, after acquiring an office, then you talk to people, then you have a network that if you mustn't go to a particular location before such activities will be carried out. You stay here, but other people who are in another location will carry out a function. Few people will be delegated to join them there for such an action. So yeah, resource mobilization theory is very important, as both human and material resources are mobilized for social action, without which social action cannot take place. Then another one is a political process theory. Political process theory is without political structures, institutions, and process influence formation and impact of social movement. Here you are looking at the political structure. How are we going to operate in this situation, in this context? Are we going to go the way those organizations have gone? Then are we going to say this is going to be an institution? How are we going to influence people that will form a group, a formidable group that will carry out this action? Then forming a group, how is a group going to shape our ability? Is it just forming a group and people follow it without the group shaping the ability of members? If ability of members are shaped, there will be more focus. If you are just joining the group because there is need for a social action, if they ask you, why is it that this thing is happening like this, you may not be able to explain. So the political process theory focuses on the political structures and institutions and the processes that will influence the formation and the impact and movement of all this. Then another one we look at, it has to do with the social movement theory. When we talk about social movement theory here, it means we are looking at initial mobilization for collective social action. How are you going to mobilize people here? Is it possible we mobilize these people to carry out this action? And how are we going to mobilize them? Mobilization, initial mobilization is very, very important. And you highlight factors like framing the objectives and collective identity of this group before you mobilize people strategically. Here is looking at all the stages involved. We say we want this particular thing. We want to carry out a particular action. In carrying out this action, we have to mobilize people. The initial mobilization. It's not everybody that you approach and the person will accept to be a member of the group. But if you actually want to continue with it, resource mobilization here, you get experts who will be involved in mobilizing members of this community, members who would want to carry out this action. And that initial mobilization, I say, it's very important. People will have to key in if they know the importance of the action they wish to execute. People may come in initially, but as the time goes, others will want to opt out of the movement. So the social mobilization is very, very important, and it has to do with the initial formation of this group. Forms of social actions in Nigeria. Social action in Nigeria take a multiple forms, each having a union purpose in addressing each having a unique process in addressing social challenges. We talk of activism and protest. When we were talking of, when we were looking at different types of social action, we're left with activism and protest. So this is still appearing here. Nigerian activists and social organizations frequently mobilize protests and demonstrations to raise awareness and challenge government policies perceived as unjust or discriminatory. As I was talking yesterday, I mentioned this particular point, NSAS, NSAS. As NSAS was carried out in the South. To a little extent, it was done in Kano and Abuja. NSAS had a very good agenda, because they have identified contemporary action that affected the entire society. The brutality of a particular department or section of the police called SARS, Special Active Response Squad, Special Anti-Robbery Response Squad. That's the full meaning of SARS. Because there were a lot of brutality. SARS is a unit in police that deals with anti-robbery. They went outside their core mandate or responsibility, and they were interfering into either communal criminal cases, which was outside their core responsibility. The activists look at it and say, no, we can't allow this. We have suffered in the hands of the police for a very long time, taking this and that. Now, let's go on a protest, a public protest. It's not just a protest, a public protest, so that the government, who owns the police, will get to know. MSC started in Lagos. Very many people were killed. The toll gate, Lekki toll gate, where the movement went. Very many people were killed. But it is an act of activism and protest that is social action. It cannot be avoided. It's inevitable. In social action, this thing is necessary, which is why we are looking at the kind of social actions that have occurred in Nigeria over the years. This one is very, 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 very important. It draws government attention. It draws people in high authority attention to the fact that something is going on here. Number two, community organizing. When you talk of community organizing, talk of the local communities in Nigeria who organize common issues such as clean water, healthcare, provision of clean water, healthcare, establishment of educational institutions, and provision or construction of roads and different other things. Community organization started as a self-help. In the early 80s, community organizing was one thing that was very, very prevalent in Nigeria. Gradually, it has died in natural death, but it's a kind of social action that a community will identify a particular need, and or they will identify their needs and prioritize the needs and attend to it. There may be so many needs in the community that road, education, the health care, and so many other like water. The community, because they have prioritized the needs, then they will go on using the one that is most pressing. If it has to do with healthcare, they will come together, provide funds, and they will levy themselves, then establish a healthcare center or a healthcare facility. If it has to do with education, as I mentioned, then the same community will deliberate on where to locate such an educational institution, and it will be located. But let me tell you that I doubt if that kind of community organization that took place in the past, that established secondary, primary, and maybe tertiary institutions, can still do it. Apart from communities like church, religious organizations, it's very difficult now. In the past, a community, members of the community will first donate land free of charge that we want this particular thing established within our location. Now, the community, even if the community has decided to establish a particular thing, maybe health center, educational center, or provide a recreational center, the community will have to buy land from her indigenous because people are not very simple the way it used to be in the past. Community-based organizations, they play a vital role in advocating local needs and mobilizing resources to address it. Yes, times they levy themselves, times they come together and work, farm. After farming, then they harvest the produce and use it, a proceed, to execute a project of their interest. I recall a community in my village, members of that community, they planted an orchard. Think that was that orange farm was like 400 meters wide. That farm existed for about 20 years. Now, members of that same community, the unity has eroded. The orchard they had in the past, they didn't weed it, weed took over that same place, and that orchard farm that was that grew up, and they used to harvest oranges from it and sell, has been burnt down. Now there's no single orange in that place again. So this kind of thing. Then motivation for community action. Motivation for community action in social actions are diverse and often rooted in personal values, experience, beliefs. What actually motivates people for community action differs. It may be as a result of the values, your personal values. It may be because of your experience. Experience is also a very wide thing here. It may be your experience in a workplace, may be experience with interacting with members of the society, experience interaction with members of a particular group, then your beliefs. The beliefs here also may differ. My belief will not be your belief. My personal value may not be your personal value, but one thing is more than this. Values that will motivate people, or things that will motivate people to form a group, identify a particular thing, form a group for a social action, may be more wide than the few that I've listed here. Another thing has to do with idealism and commitment to social justice driven by many individuals to challenge inequality, discrimination, and systematic injustice. Had it been I am a lawyer, I would have been a human rights activist. Because when I see people maltreating others, I don't feel comfortable. The people others will sit down and say, oh, the kind of inequality in a particular thing is worrisome. The kind of inequality or injustice, social injustice perpetrated by those in authority is something else. Then the inequality, discrimination. People are discriminated because they come from this, they come from that. Let me tell you this one. Few years ago, my wife's classmate in the university was working with the commercial bank. It was a lady, the lady knew me as the husband to the classmate. And anytime I went to the bank, during the time they used to queue inside the banking hall, you see long queues. Anytime, even now there are queues, but during that time the queues were more than now. Anytime I went there, the lady would just signal me that I should jump to the front so that I'll collect money and go. But I would just say, let me queue, because I'm not usually happy when I see people shunting to go and collect because they have connection. If at times I control myself, I wouldn't talk. So for so many times, this lady, on seeing me from behind, she would just signal me that I should come. I'll come, just talk to her and go back to my queue. Stay the position, maintain my position. Then one day, she met with my wife that why is it that I'm reluctant? My wife told her that I'm that type of person that don't want this so much injustice. So you see people, they want to have a relationship with those in authority so that they can do so many things. So you see those kind of social injustice. Was it not here yesterday that I narrated the story of myself and some uniform men in the commercial bank, which another uniform man came to tell them that what they are doing is wrong. So those kind of things. So people get motivated because of discrimination, because of systematic injustice. Somebody has qualified to be employed, but because he or she is not connected, doesn't have any connection, you don't give her that employment. Somebody is qualified to be admitted into a particular program, but because he or she doesn't have any connection and is denied that opportunity, we are heading to. These are the kind of things that motivate social action, motivate activists for social action, motivate people, everybody. Hey, see how that child is being abused. See the kind of domestic violence that is taking place in that house. If I were this type of person, it's better we get ourselves organized and do something. Tokuma, do you want to say anything?
Sorry, sir. I just entered now. I didn't know. It's just now I discovered that we can use the formal link to enter. So I just entered now. So I'll listen for now, sir.
Okay. The former link I used, and the thing didn't take me anywhere. It was just there telling me that the host is having another meeting. for a very long time. So this kind of the personal experience or hardship or witness social inequality ignite a desire to address these issues. If you discover or if you go around and you see people's action and inaction, you'll be motivated to maybe form an NGO. You'll be motivated to organize a rally, to educate people. You'll be motivated to find people of similar interest to join you to form a crusade that will fight systematic injustice. Then this is very important. This is the basis. This is just the basis for social action. But let's link the whole thing here. If you discover systematic injustice, what is that thing? Is some of them are at times contemporary problem. Discrimination becomes a contemporary problem. If people have not been discriminated over the years and you discover a high rate or you discover somebody is being discriminated, there becomes a problem. If you have never seen it or you have never seen it to the degree you have seen it, so be it a social problem, which requires what? A social action. So social problems lead to a social action. Then social actions are there to help draw the attention of the public, even for those who don't know, for those who may know, but they want to a such act. Then the social action will draw their attention and something will be done. Personal experience or hardship, witness, and social inequalities can ignite all this, a sense of responsibility towards one's community or a society at large, motivate individuals to take action. What you are looking at it. I'm not happy with what is happening. Social, you go into people, then a social action will take place. So let me pause here and ask you very few questions. And how can you narrate to us a story or an incident you have seen that requires a contemporary issues or problems you have experienced that require social action, either in your community or in your workplace? Wakia, Tongu, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay.
Sir,
Share with us an
sir,
experience.
my
Share with
experience,
us an experience you have observed that requires social action.
sir, when I was going towards rice mill side, I saw one Chojama was beating someone to death. The man was just beating somebody there. So when I asked, they told me that the man paid the guy to pay the man money to prepare furnitures for him, and the guy run away with the money. So when the policeman saw the guy was just beating the guy anyhow, as if the guy will die at the point of death. So when I saw it, I said that case needs an action and a social action. That is not the way they used to treat human being. That is my experience.
Okay. Can you identify, yes, the soldier
Yes,
manhandled,
the soldier. Yeah,
maltreated,
a man
and tortured
at the point of death.
the person they alleged paid money for him to get some furniture.
Yes, sir.
So, what kind of social action do you suggest should be carried out here?
That is community. That is community mobilization. That is community mobilization theory.
No. I'm not asking you about the theory. My question is direct. Yes, the soldier man tortured
That is,
uh, the purported carpenter. So,
yes,
what
that is
kind of social action do you think is appropriate here?
traditional social action.
No, don't go so formal. Be very simple. Do we need to come together and raise alarm of the torture uniform men or soldiers in particular have tortured the citizens over the years? That's the kind of thing we want.
Yes,
Yes. So the key thing here, the social action required here is, did you have your phone?
yes.
Why don't you snap that thing and send it on the social media?
Some people were snapping it, sir. I was not alone, so other people were snapping it.
I'm talking to you in particular.
So me, I didn't do that.
You had that
I
experience.
was,
Now you
yeah,
are
I was not
sharing it
happy.
with us.
Yeah, I was not happy, but I didn't do anything.
Were you scared of pulling out your camera, your phone to record or snap the action?
That to be sincere, by then I don't know what to do at that time because I was confused. I don't know what to do, particularly at that time. I was even
Okay,
surprised.
thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Surprised that the surprised at the extent which the soldier man maltreated the man.
Yes, sir.
It's okay. Okay, that's a very bitter experience. Wakia, go ahead and tell us what you feel should be done.
Hello, sir. Good morning, sir. So there's this one is true news that I read this thing. It happens 3 days ago in Kano that a bullet van knock the keke driver down. This tricyclist down. What the bullet van did, it
Which
didn't stop.
van?
Yeah, bullet van. This
Wait,
heavy
which van?
bullet van. This motor that used to carry money, convert money to banks.
Toy or bully?
Bullet van is a van that used to carry money.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yes, then hit the keke driver, a tricyclist down, and it didn't stop to a point that it was the the core colleagues, the drivers, other keke drivers that have to react immediately. They organize themselves and block the entire highway. Then now that now attract the attention of the police to come and move the young man to hospital. That action is the action that draw the attention of the police. If not, they totally block the highway that nobody will pass till the needful would be done. And what they did, draw the attention of the government to come and move the man to the hospital. Thank you, sir.
Yes. What we are saying here is you have narrated the news you watched.
Yes, sir.
Tell us the kind of social action that went on.
It was protest. The protest by blocking the highway. Protest.
Yes, that's good. According to what the last speaker said, the van crushed who touched the tricyclist, which referred, I guess he got injured. And other members of the tricyclist quickly reacted. They mobilized themselves and reacted in a way of first blocking the road which the van was using. Two, by blocking that road, by protesting, the attention of the security agencies was drawn to it. Those are the kind of things that will require. I will be very happy if you are telling us a story or you are sharing an experience with us. Or if you watch, there is an experience you watch, or a story you saw. Tell us the kind of social action that is required, like maltreated somebody. Social. Jimmy, can you share your experience with us concerning this particular issue? I hope you have been on the platforms for some minutes now. Okay, Tokuma, can you share your experience with us? Are you people not hearing me?
Okay, I can hear you, sir. Sorry, sir.
Okay,
Okay.
Tokuma, go ahead.
My own experience is okay. It's like my brother's experience. He since he finished school, the university, has not been able to secure a job. and he got desperate enough that when he was looking for a job, federal government job. They told him he has to pay a certain sums of money, and and he quietly did it without consulting anybody, and he didn't still get the job. Paid that
The service around Tukuma's area is very bad. So, Jatu, can you share your experience with us, if any? Okay, it's like Jatu to okay, go ahead. Jatu, go ahead. If we cannot hear Jatu, Raf, are you just joining? If you are not just joining us, can you share your experience with us concerning what we have just discussed? Okay, Raf is not responding. Deputy Governor, experience to share with us.
Sir, come again with the question.
We said we are looking at contemporary issues. Contemporary issues are matters that will arise demanding contemporary issues are things that will arise or things that are not approved by the society. And these issues require social action. When they occur, they require social action. For example, somebody narrated a story where a military personnel, she saw a military personnel beating somebody, who maltreated somebody, who tortured somebody, who he gave, it was alleged he gave money to get furniture for him. And the social action required was protest, drawing the public attention to maltreatment of human beings by the uniformed personnel, particularly the soldiers. Another person narrated the story of a tricycle being hit by a van carrying money. And the social action that was carried out immediately was members of the Tricyclist Association quickly mobilized and blocked the route. Attention of security personnel was drawn to it, and the victim was rushed to a health facility. What is your experience? And what is the social action required? This is the question. Do you have any experience? What is the social action you will require to draw the attention of the public for possible remedy?
Okay, sir, I got the question. First, as an individual or community, the social action to such act first is the protest first, and second as an individual, with my phone as a digital era we are, I can snap video and from there post either on my Instagram or my Facebook page or tag the authority. And the rest of it from there, I can also write it by writing it and uploading the pictures apart from the video. And from there, the response will be there and that will be my social action, sir, to respond to such acts. That's all I can say, sir.
Thank you very much. We wanted a situation of your personal experience and the social action required. Thank you. Sean K, do you have any personal experience? Then what do you think was the social or is the social action that will fit in this situation or in that situation? It's like most of us here. Are you not hearing? Are we not together? Are you not hearing me?
We're hearing you,
We
sir.
Shomke, are you hearing me? Raf, are you hearing me?
Yes, sir, I can hear you now. Sorry, sir, I went for a friend's.
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay. Share your experience with us and the possible social action that you suggest for the remedy. Yato.
Sorry, sir. Sorry, sir. Can you please come again?
It is like most of us we are doing and our attention is not here.
Sir, my network today is not too strong. Hi, Jesus.
Hard luck, oh, hard luck.
Thank you.
Let me go back to this particular slide. Are we looking at this slide?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
They say motivation for social actions. The motivation for engaging in social actions are diverse and personal values, experience, and belief. Idealism and commitment to justice drive many individuals to challenge inequality, discrimination. Personal experience or hardship or witness social inequality can ignite a desire to address social issues. So what we are looking at it is what actually motivates action. If you fail, your personal values motivate you for social action, your experience, your beliefs. And when you discover there is social injustice, there is inequality, there's discrimination, there is systematic injustice, then social action is initiated. If you discover there is inequality, there is discrimination, there is injustice, it may not be systematic injustice, but you discover there is injustice anywhere, then that motivates people for social action. And in carrying out, then your personal experience or hardship or witnessing a social injustice can also ignite a desire to address these issues. What you have seen, what you have heard, is a kind of injustice, a discrimination. You see somebody discriminate, you discover somebody is qualified to be admitted into a particular institution, but because there is high rate of discrimination, religious and tribal discrimination in that place, that person wasn't offered admission. You discover somebody, because he's not from a particular, a high degree of inequality, differences, people that are rich getting richer, people that are poor getting poorer on daily basis. Then you are worried, a place that people who have experienced that particular thing, then you become worried. Then a sense of responsibility towards community or society at large also motivates social action. Then this social action are taken to avert a particular calamity. But now, listen carefully. This is the basis for which I ask questions, what I re-explained a few minutes ago. That social action is motivated as a result of injustice, as a result of discrimination, is as a result of personal values. Social action is motivated because you have seen an inequality. The way your personal belief may align with another person's personal belief. The injustice you perceive may align with the injustice another person has perceived. The discrimination you have received or people have received in that place over the years will motivate another person. Another person has also gone through the similar thing. So discrimination, inequality, injustice are initiators of social action. Then I'm asking you, you have seen, one of us shared a story that she had today. When she went out, she saw somebody beating another person, a soldier beating a civilian. And according to her, she said, this kind of thing is completely torture. It's not just beating. The soldier tortured that civilian because it was alleged that he gave money to that person who is a carpenter, and the carpenter has failed to deliver the furniture, they agreed that will be delivered to him. Then I said, what's the kind of social action that would have been received in this place? People around that area would have mobilized themselves and even attempted to hold that soldier and let the public know the kind of torture civilians are going through in the hands of soldiers. Another person narrated what he watched on the news, that another vehicle hit a tricyclist, and the members of the tricyclists quickly mobilized themselves. That's a social action. They mobilized themselves and blocked the way, so that vehicle wasn't able to move, and he attracted the attention of the security personnel, and the victim was taken to a hospital. Now, Jato, this is my question. Have you ever had this kind of experience, or has somebody ever narrated his experience to you in a kind of discrimination? You feel it was a kind of getting out of a social deviance, and you feel it was an inequality in the sign of inequality in the society that needed a social action. This is my question. Have you ever had an experience that require a social action? Maybe not you as a person, but you have seen another person had an experience that require a social action. What is the social action that would have taken place on the spot?
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir. Last year, okay, no, 2023 December. Yes, 2023 December. I had gone for my antenatal. So I had shortage of funds and I went to make withdrawal. The queue was much, but I had to wait because people were all eager to make withdrawals and go. So just 2 persons before me, a military personnel now came, and he didn't even greet, neither did he even ask if we could allow him. He just walked straight to the front and then told the person that was to insert their card into the ATM machine that the person should shift and wait. He wants to make withdrawal. He needs to make withdrawal and go. So the person was like, Oga, sorry, me too, I need to make withdrawal. I am from the hospital and I need to get drugs for somebody. It's urgent. He now told the person that is the person seeing what he's putting on at all? Is the person saying what he's putting on at all? Does the person know who he is? Now, you came, you did not greet this person. You did not greet anybody. But because you were putting on uniform, you felt you were untouchable. And then you went to the front to tell the person who is supposed to make withdrawals to excuse you to make your withdrawals without even saying it nicely. So an elderly woman was now standing there. The woman now said, my pikin, no vex, so make you wait, make we do withdrawal. Even this woman wey dey here with belema wan make withdrawal. He now said it's none of his business that his colleagues are waiting for him outside. He needs to make withdrawal. And this guy who was supposed to make withdrawal just inserted his card. The next thing we heard was slap on his face. And as he slapped him, his colleagues from the vehicle, who did not even know what was going on, rushed and came down. And they wanted to pounce on this guy. Fortunately, the elderly people who were there now stopped them. The guy made his withdrawal and he left. The military guy too made his withdrawal and he left. And then I asked myself, are people going into the military so that they can come out and become bullies, or they are going into the military so that they can come out and protect those who cannot protect and defend themselves? Now, if those elderly people there or those people that were there did not come out to assist in protecting that young man, they probably would have beaten that man to a state where he wouldn't have been able to get up and move. But because he was fortunate to have people that would stand and defend him, even though he received a slap, he made his withdrawal and he thanked the people that were there, those of us that were there, and he walked away. So that is an experience I had. And after he made his withdrawal, they allowed me to make my own withdrawal, and I made my withdrawal and I left. So that's my own experience, sir. Thank you.
Yes, that's your experience, but you have not answered the question completely. What is the social action that was required on the spot?
So I think the social action that was required on the spot was the fact it was intervention from those that were around, and they intervened and they protected the guy who was being bullied. And then another suggestion I'm saying is the military personnel need to be re-educated. They need to know that their uniform does not make them unstoppable or untouchable, and their uniform does not make them bullies. They should be able to use their uniform for the good of the society and not the other way around. Thank you, sir.
Yes, that's very good. But something very important is still left out. The few elders that were there were able to beg. They never protected. They begged, and the soldiers heeded to the begging. What the society need to do is to go on a peaceful protest. Some of those things those military persons do, if you report them at the appropriate authority, they will be punished. Military personnel, they are trained to obey law and order. You're not wearing that uniform to go and torment, to unlash pains on the citizens of this country. In as much as we respect that uniform you are wearing, you have to respect yourself. It is a similar thing that another person directed.
Most of them don't respect themselves. So most of them don't respect themselves, especially these young ones. They don't respect themselves at all. You see them bullying people up and down. They don't. They don't know what respect is.
What I'm trying to say is, we as a society, we as a community of civilians, we need to come out to tell the public, recall the example I gave you people yesterday has end SARS. SARS is a unit in police force, Nigeria police force, that was meant to go after armed robbers. Special anti-robbery response squad. That's the meaning of SARS or services. So instead of them concentrated, they went on civilians. After the protest, SARS was reformed. They gave them another name and gave them orientation that this is how to deal with the public. Your own area of duty is not to go and get yourself involved in communal conflict matters, in civil matters. So if we as a people can go out to protest the brutality, the torture we are experiencing in the hands of the uniform, particularly the military persons, the military will come out to give orientation, reorientation to its personnel that are doing this kind of thing. Recall, was it last year, Sanwo-Olu, Governor Sanwo-Olu of Lagos, had an experience with a young soldier. This young soldier was going on a single lane, going against the traffic on a lane. When the governor was coming and identified that he was going against the single lane, the governor ordered for his arrest. He told the governor that he was a soldier. The governor then asked him, does it mean soldiers don't obey laws? There is a unit in the military they call civil-military relationship. They will teach you that, yes, this is how to interact, to deal with civilians. That young man was arrested. When he was arrested and taken to custody, there was a lot of public outcry that Governor Sanwo-Olu had no human face. The military, after a long story, after social media, let me say, social media was bombarded by so many people, the military came out. Meanwhile, that soldier just came back from Borno. He had an operation and there was an iron inside one of his legs. The military came out to tell the public that soldiers are trained to be disciplined. For the soldier to go against the traffic is against the law of the land. I don't know how at the end of it the issue was resolved, but the soldier was handed over to the military authorities, and I guess he was punished accordingly. So if we come out to cry, this is the social action required, not just that. See, that thing happened around our banking premises. Today is happening in another location. Another day is happening in another location continuously. So if we don't carry out a public action to draw the attention of the military authority, this thing will continue. What actually happened there was, I appreciate the elders who were there, who saved the situation. But we will need to carry out the public action that the entire country will be aware that we, the civilians, we are being maltreated and tortured by the military person. Thank you. Any other person with experience to share? I initially asked Shamki to share her experience with us and suggest a social action that was required. I don't know whether she heard us and just keep quiet, or there was a problem, or she didn't hear us. Shamki, if you are hearing us, if you have any experience, share with us and tell us the kind of social action that was required immediately and a long-term social action required concerning that particular contemporary problem. it appears Chunky may be is very busy or not hearing us. Wakia, go ahead and share your experience with us. Then suggest immediate or a long-term social action that's required for that remedy of that problem.
Good morning, Doc. Good morning once again. Morning, class. So I want to hear another contemporary social issue at National Assembly. Previously, when the Senate President...
You want to share a social problem, problem.
Yeah, okay, sir. Sorry, thank you, sir. Previously, the National Assembly, Senate President, that is Akpabio, had issue with Natasha, the senator from Kogi, I think it's Kogi West, that led to her suspension. Then what the women did, they came on the streets, they blocked the entrance to National Assembly, that the humiliation against women is too much. Then that they should call the woman back. Now, why is it that the woman is being suspended? They even turned the matter upside down. But due to their social actions, now the court now intervened, and right now the woman is back to the house. Thank you, sir. I don't know.
Thank you very much, Wakia. Onguga, do you have any experience to share with us and suggest a social action required for the remedy of the problem?
Yeah. Good morning, sir. Good morning, my classmates. I have one similar experience. During my undergraduate days, we were doing one course, and 2 lecturers were supposed to take the course. So one lecturer finished his own part, and another lecturer started to start his own part. So when the last lecturer came, the first lecturer came and started insulting the other guy that he's not supposed to teach the course. Besides that, he don't even have a PhD. I don't supposed to teach the course. And the way I thought it was even a personal issue. So he was trying to insult the other guy. So we, the class, we became angry that how can the senior professor be talking to a junior colleague like that? So we took a social action. We went to the HOD and we reported the case that HOD should take action, because embarrassing a colleague in a class that is not even good. So the HOD should take action. That's the experience that we have during my undergraduate days. Thank you, sir. Hello?
What was the social action
Hello?
yes? We are hearing you.
No, yes, we have to march to the HOD's office
to go and social action that was taken.
Yes. We went to the HOD's office to report that you should take action, because the case was beyond us. It was lecturers and between lecturers. So we have to move to the HOD, who was the HOD then, to go and report the issue so that you can take action.
Did the junior lecturer
the HOD
wait?
No, the senior lecturer started the junior lecturer. Yes.
Listen, I have a question.
That the senior lecturer instead. Yes. Okay, sir.
Listen to my question, please. Did the junior person incited you to march? Did the junior person incited you to march to the HOD's office and report the matter?
No, it was our course reps that said that we should go to the HOD to report the matter, because we too were not happy the way the professor was insulting the junior lecturer. That the case was beyond us, so we went to the HOD to report. Then the HOD called them to order. The social action we took was to go and report the case to the HOD. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other experience somebody would want to share with us? And who is that person? Who wants to share experience with us again?
Sammy, I want to ask question. It's a question I want to ask.
Okay, thank you. Okay, go ahead.
My
Don't you say
question is,
yes.
my question is, there is some social problems that even to take a social action is a problem. So in case of that, what are we going to do?
Let us get you very well. That
she said that, sir, there are some
we
social...
didn't get you very well. Please, can you re-ask your question?
Sir, I said there is some problems that you met that even to take social action is a problem. Like somebody is having a gun, there's no way you can check where you stand or you can do anything. So in case of such problems, what are you going to do? Sir, you not hearing me?
Thank you. Any response? Who wants to respond to that? Well, yes, I've heard you. Any answer from any other person? Okay, Weka, you want to answer her? Go ahead.
Good afternoon once again, sir. Let me try. That's that is what I understand here. Social action is not mainly for you that thing is happening to you. Other people around you can take the social action, not really you. In that situation, the people around, like the experience Jato shared, it was not really the guy that took the action. It was the elders in that particular place that took the action. Thank you.
Sir, can I respond to what Tongu said?
Yes, go ahead.
There are some social actions that can sometimes relate to social violence. Like for her EG that she gets someone having a gun. If someone has a gun, he's in charge of commanding. And when the person commands, you obey. Because you don't have to retaliate with someone who has a gun. But the social action that you take after that, if the person didn't kill you, you report to the right channel of authorities for what happened to you or to the person. But if you're not involved in the social action that the person pulling the gun is other person you see, it's either you report, you call the right channel that there is a robbery here or someone is harassing this person, or you organize few people within that environment to attack the person if they have the power to overpower the person with the gun. That's my take, sir.
Thank you. When we talk of social action, there are different types of social action. Social action results to anything that is disapproved by the society that someone has done it. By reporting to the responsible authority is a social action. Individual, collectively, you mustn't take a social action on the spot.
Okay, sir.
For the case, a case that was narrated or shared by Jato, assuming those of them who were in the queue at the ATM wanted to protest, immediately they would have seen the beating of their lives. But what the society needed to do is a general protest. Now it has happened It happened there. It has happened in another place. Today it happened at Uruku. What the society needs to do is people with like minds. This is why this particular slide is telling us that people with similar experience, people who observe there is injustice, people who observe inequality, discrimination, then they will come together. They are motivated. It becomes a motivating force for them to come together. Yes, somebody is having a go. You mustn't respond immediately. But if you, me, and that person look at that as a deviation from the approved norms, then we need to come together and execute an action of drawing the society attention to it. This is the kind of experience we are going through. This is what we experience on a daily basis. So this is what we are saying here. You mustn't come out to attack those people or to respond on the spot. I hope it's clear. Tongo?
Sir, yes, it's clear.
So even the experience you shared with us today, if a picture of that is snapped, uploaded on the internet, on the social media, then reports are made to the military authority. Then the military may decide to investigate. Recall the demotion and dismissal of a police personnel. It was on the social media. What the police personnel, they had a roadblock. And in that roadblock, they asked this person to give them something. And the person refused. They maltreated that person. And somebody was somewhere who videoed everything and was able to get their names. After the incident, this was reported to the police authorities, and the police react by constituting a court martial which tried them, demoted them, dismissed them, and handed them to the civil court. It is a social action. I hope it's clear.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Any other question? Do we have any other question? No question or no experience to share. Okay, Gwacha.
Yes, okay. Thank you, sir, for another wonderful opportunity. So, why is it that if the locals are carrying out social action and the government will send law enforcement agencies to go and stop them? Because I learned that the social action is freely allowed when it is not involve the destruction of lives and properties. Why is it that they normally send people to go and stop them? Just for example, the one that recently happened at Wurukun roundabout. Thank you, sir.
Let me answer this question without time wasting. The ideal procedure is if we want to carry out a social action, some of them including protest or demonstration, we are supposed to obtain a permission from the law enforcement agencies. If it is a protest, you tell them that our protest is going to follow this route from, say, from Urukum to high level to B division and terminate at so place. The police is supposed to look at the security situation. And on the day of the protest, the law enforcement agencies are there to guide and protect people protesting. Well, I told you that we have laws, good laws. I would observe them. Is that uniform person, is the traffic warden, is the policeman, it is a soldier who are supposed to enforce the law, that they will go against it. If you see people going against traffic, they are uniform men. Go on the road, you see vehicle inspection officer will be driving a vehicle or a means of mobility without a number plate, but he's there arresting people. The police who are supposed to enforce certain things is the one to tell people you don't go against traffic. This is one way. He's a person who is going against the traffic. If they say there is this side is one way, is that soldier who will use that one go follow against the traffic in the one way. So people take the laws into their hands. People are against institutions, as I earlier told you. Institutions like the judiciary, the law enforcement agencies, if you are arrested, saying you are an investigator, but you arrest somebody and you take him or her to police today, maybe if it is case of criminality, the police or the law enforcement agencies will release the person before you know the person is no longer there. But the ideal thing is, if a case is established against you, not criminality, you are not supposed to stay in detention more than 24 hours. So as you are arrested and taken to detention, if there's anybody who will come for your bail, he's supposed to be released to that person if the bail condition is satisfied. Well, basically what I'm saying is our laws exist in the book, but they are not being implemented. Let me give you a very simple example of it. Like in educational institution, primary school up to SST, they say basic 7 is supposed to be free. If federal government policy or universal basic education said from primary school to JSS3 is free education, nobody should pay any cover. Go to federal government schools, the unity schools, and ask how much parents are paying school fees for their students, for their wards, for their pupils who are studying in these tertiary institutions. Over 100,000. But this is federal government schools. It's the federal government that has enacted universal basic education, which states that primary to the SST basic 8 is free. Here we are paying. If you want to take your child there and tell the principal or those concerned that it is free, they will send your child away. So I keep on telling you that people are above and above institutions. They do what they feel like doing. Individuals are richer than our country. So few individuals sit and decide what is done, and it is done against the enacted or promulgated laws. So we are in a community or in a country where the rule of law is hardly observed. The rule of law is observed only for the poor. The injustice we perceive on a daily basis requires public action. This is why the cause is very important. If the public can carry action concerning some of the things that are done to us, then those in authority will get to understand that, yes, we are feeling it. We are feeling it. Let me give you an example. You are using maybe your vehicle and you are going. Your papers are okay, and somebody has demanded that you give gratification. You say, no, I'm not going to give you anything. My vehicle papers are okay. If you want, we'll stay till tomorrow. Another person who has a similar thing is very eager. He will come and to me, I don't want to waste time, because he's looking at it. You, the same person, if you said you will not give, you will stay there till tomorrow. If you are taken to where they are supposed to a place where it's supposed to critically examine that and set you free, how many days, how many months, how many years are you going to spend? So people prefer to cut corners and go. So this is why we continue to have problems in this country. The social acting that we're supposed to execute, people look at it as a waste of time and resources after perceiving discrimination, injustice, and all sorts of things. Thank you. I hope I answered your question.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Any other question or comment? In absence of a question or comment, can we call it a day for here? When we come back, we'll continue from motivations and the social impact. So thank you very much for having your time to be here. Thank you and thank you. Then bye for now.
Thank you, sir.
Bye.